Hello. So today we're going to talk about time management. Before we get started, we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm Miss Fennell, and I'm a program director. And I serve girls out of North Crowley High School and all of high school girls virtually.
I am Jay Bosch, Program Director. I serve girls within Fort Worth ISD, and virtually I serve all high school girls.
I'm Stephanie Swinson, and I'm a program director, and I am on the high school team serving all high schools in Tarrant County, and also I work with college and career. And we also have with us today, Soma, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, sorry. Hello, I'm Soma, and I'm a current intern at Grows Inc. So, yeah.
Yay, welcome, Soma.
Yay, Soma.
Miss Soma.
We're glad to have you. So before we get started, I'm going to go over mandated reporting. So like I did last week, mandated reporting is all of us on the call are mandated reporters, which means that if there's something that you share on the call that is harmful to yourself or to others, we do have to report that. So if something comes up and we need to discuss with you, we will private message you, but just be mindful of that. This is a safe space, so we want you to be able to share, but we also want you to know that we are mandated reporters. And I think that's it for me.
All right, well, we'll kick this thing off with a little bit of icebreaker, and you're gonna need a pen, pencil, and paper for this activity. When you got it, say done in the chat box or give me a thumbs up. Okay, so pull it up. You have $86,400 to spend any way that you wish. The only restrictions that you have is that you cannot bank any of the money. And if you do choose to bank any of the money or you don't use it at the end of, I'm gonna say about 5 or 6 minutes, then you'll lose it. So you're gonna write a list of what you're gonna buy with the $86,400 and include the amount for each item. Does everyone understand that? Yes, head nods. Okay, so I'm gonna set my timer for about 5 minutes, and you're gonna use that money any way you wish. Any money that you don't use at the end of the 5 minutes is gonna be lost money. Okay, and you can start now. Need some music for this. Let me see if I can play a song. I've been in a jazzy mood lately, if you can tell by my Instagram, so.
Jazzy with Jay.
If you finish before the 5 minutes is up, just type done in the chat box and we'll move forward. All right, I see that we're all done, so we're gonna take a moment and just share what has been bought with your $86,400. I will start by reading Roz in the chat box. Roz says she's buying her daddy a fancy boat for $40,000 and then paying off her student loan debt with the rest. That's how you spend money. All right, so let's see. We'll start with Miss Fennell. What do you have? What do you buy?
All right, so I wanted to put 40,000 on a house. If I can't get a house, I'm buying upgrades on my apartment because I know a house is not $40,000, but I'm buying a new couch, I'm buying a new TV. Well, that's a lot of money, not 40, but that's what, 40,000 on a house, then 30,000 on a car. Now this seems like a lot. It's a lot. I'm just trying to upgrade myself. And then 10,000 on a vacation. That sounds like a lot too, but if I'm, having money, I'm going all the way. I'm getting a yacht. I'm going to, actually that might not be enough, 10,000, but whatever. And then the rest I'm going to give away. Now, if I can't get the house and the car, I would give more away, but yes. So everything else after my house, car, vacation, I'm good. Everybody do what you want with the rest.
Okay, I see you. I like it. Steph, let's see what you're doing with your money.
Now I just feel selfish because I didn't put any aside for others. Anyways, I too am going to spend 30,000 on a car, so kudos to that, Kanai. And then 56,000 I'm gonna put as like a down payment, or I'm gonna rent a house. I'll either put a down payment like on a brand new house because I know that's not well, could be enough, or I would rent a house. And then the last $400 I'm gonna pay bills. Boring.
Those bills, nah, I mean, but that's as on the Rugrats Red said, we have responsibilities. Those are our responsibilities that we have to make sure we tend to with our monies. Okay, so Soma, let's hear what did you do with your money?
Well, are we allowed to invest the money to something? If yes, then I'll probably just go to one of the corporations or just like, invest it right there, everything.
Okay, yeah, that works. Definitely find something to invest your money in. Yes. So essentially,
smart. I love it because, you got to invest in money to make money. Great. I love these ideas. Great.
You're a good human too, Stephanie. Okay, so the 86th, oh no. Hold on just a second, y'all. The $86,400 that you were given for this activity represents the 86,400 seconds. Was it seconds? I just closed out my tab, y'all. Seconds that that we have in a day. And if you do not use all of those seconds in a day in the 24 hours, then essentially you lose all of that. So yeah, so that was keep that in mind for this activity as we move on to the next one.
All right, so now we're gonna do a handy dandy PowerPoint on time management. Let me share my screen. All right, so one of my lovely interns last semester did this PowerPoint for us, and it was very engaging. So time management tips. So I believe on here there's five time management tips. And a lot of these tips are very simple. They're easy. It doesn't require a lot of work, I don't believe. So let's get started. So the first tip, of course, set a daily routine. Habits that bring order and accomplish your, I can't read today, an accomplishment to your day. So setting a routine can do a lot in time management, because if you have a set routine, I mean, if you want to set it for, you know, what I'm doing in the afternoon, morning, or in the evening, or, you know, if you want to be one of those person who sets hourly, like this is what I'm doing this hour, this is what I'm doing the next hour. But just daily routines are important, and it helps you get in a rhythm, and it's always good to build habits. It also provides a positive mindset. Just because maybe if you're anxious or if you have anxiety and you know what you're going to do for the day, that can just help you, you know, worry a little bit less about your schedule at least. So there's an example of the different routines: eating healthy. So there, you know, so this routine is kind of simple: eating a breakfast, doing exercise, you know, doing schoolwork and everything like that. But if you, like I said, you can do an hourly by hourly one. You could just set up stuff for the morning, afternoon, just whatever works, just something simple. A daily schedule can help you with your time management. All right, planners. So planners, you know, some people don't like planners. Some people are like, what am I going to do with this? But I feel like it's very important to have a planner, have something on hand that you can look at and use as a reference guide. So you can get creative with it. You can have just a notebook that you fill up. I know bullet journaling is a big thing. Also, there's a lot of online apps that you can even get on your phone that can help you plan out stuff, especially with school and with everything going on. Just make sure you're keeping track of everything that you have to do, because you don't want to get behind. And if you're doing virtual learning, it can be easy to get behind. You know, you don't have your teacher there. You're not going to school all the time to be like, hey, where's this, where's that? So a planner can be great. So, you know, you have your task, your goals, and it helps you stay organized. Some people in their planner, they may put, you know, budgets or just extra stuff. So it always helps you stay organized. And like I said, there are digital planners you can use as well if you don't want an actual physical one. So that's tip 2. Tip 3, this is a good one that I need to do, but I don't need to do it because I already don't look at my phone enough. Enable do not disturb during working hours. Helps you stay focused and, you know, eliminates distraction. So I know a lot of us always on the phone, looking if you get a message, anything. But if you put on do not disturb, hopefully that will help you eliminate distractions. And maybe you know, don't want it on the whole time. So you can do, let's do like a 2-hour block. You have 2 hours where you really, really need to focus. You got to write a paper, you got to do something. So just put your phone away from you even. That'll work. Put it away from you, put it on do not disturb. And, you know, if you have Apple Watch, whatever, take everything off. Just make sure you're focusing on what you have to do for that 2 hours, you know. And then if you want to enable it, you can enable the do, or turn off the do not disturb after you're finished with the task you have to do. So that's tip 3. Tip 4, allow yourself time for mental breaks. It is so important, especially when you are working from home, to take breaks. It could be 10 minutes, it can be 15 minutes, whatever you have time for, make sure you're taking a break. And where you're doing that, make sure you get up. You've been sitting down all day, walk around, even if it's walking around your house, just anything. Walking around. We've got the Carlton on this PowerPoint. Move around, dance, listen to the music. It's also important just to get your body up and moving. If you've been sitting there for 2 hours doing your schoolwork, 3 hours, you know, your body's been stiff, get up, move around. So that's tip 4. And you might be like, what is, you know, mental breaks going to do for time management? Because the goal is to, you know, use the best of your time, but it is important to make sure you take mental breaks. Tip 5, go easy on yourself, and practice. As time management is not easy. I don't think anyone can master time management, you know, because we only have so much time. But, you know, just do things step by step. Like if you feel like you can't benefit from a planner, maybe, you know, go buy a planner and try to use it and see how you go from there. Or let's say you don't have a schedule now, but you would like to get a schedule. All you need is a piece of paper or even your phone. Like I said, they have different apps to start making a schedule. Just everything you do little by little can help improve your time management. So that is tip number 5. And there's 4 exercises to gain strength, but we're not going to do that. All right. So like I said, those are just 5 tips that will help with time management.
Thank you, Kanai. So I'm now going to do our opening discussion. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you would like to answer them out loud, just unmute your microphone and you can answer, or you can type your answers in the chat box. So my first question, after those great tips, what is time management? So in your own words, what do you define as time management?
I'm gonna hop in there if that's okay.
Go for it.
So I would say how I best value and apply my time. That's time management. Because I don't think it's just being efficient. I don't think it's just meeting goals and getting outcomes. I think it's also how do I enjoy my time so that I don't feel like there are corners of the day that are bad corners of the day and corners of the day that are good, but just this is my day that I get to have. So how I value my time and how I make it work for me.
Absolutely. I love that you said how you value your time, because our definition says the practice of using the time that you have available in a useful and effective way. So that aligned pretty perfectly. Does anyone else have a different answer or want to elaborate on what Ross said? If not, that's okay. All right, so my second question, why is time management important? So now we know what time management is. Why is that important?
I'm an order person. So for me, time management helps me to like feel like I have a little bit of control, even though, you know, our day-to-days are different. But for me, it's important because it kind of keeps me in line, even if I don't want to be, because I know, you know, especially with work, I have to get this done. This is what I have to do in a certain time. But even personally, like I've been making a lot more time for self-care. So something as simple as that, like 10 minutes, didn't think I needed, but it's been very helpful. So I just feel like it's important just overall to help me with my stresses and anxiety.
Awesome. So the next question, this one could go for any of us, but I think Soma might be able to answer this one the best. It says, how do you balance school, work, and personal life?
Well, I think maybe just trying, I think it's more about, knowing what is more important to you, like prioritizing your tasks. Like if I have schools, works, and other thing to do, I first prioritize my school assignments because those are for, a long-term benefit for me than just having to go and do the errands. So I think just prioritizing the works that you have would really help.
Absolutely. I love the word prioritize. Awesome. Anyone else on that one? Work, school, personal life balance? All right. The next one says, what are some unnecessary activities that take up your time that you wish you didn't spend time on because they distract you from your goals?
I'm gonna say social media, definitely my phone and social media. Once I get into that habit of scrolling and commenting and, you know, replying rebuttals to people, it's kind of like a tunnel that I get trapped in and just never ending. And then like an hour or so later, I'm like, I haven't done anything. And I was supposed to drink 5 bottles of water today and go run a mile and things like that. And it's just like, well, I guess I'll try again tomorrow.
Yep.
And then I'm stuck in the same habit and pattern and routine. So definitely social media, phone, game, those things.
Absolutely. The next question, what are some unnecessary activities that are positive and help you be more productive because they energize you? So this, to me, this is more along the lines of what Ms. Fennell was saying about self-care. So they're still unnecessary, but they're more positive.
Raw in the chat box says exercise. I'm gonna follow that response and say hiking. Lately, I was talking to Ra and telling her, hiking's been my thing, and it's become one of those things that was unnecessary like months ago, and now it feels necessary. Even though life can go on and I can continue to do all my chores and tasks without it, but it really does start off my day like with a better mind frame, like more energy, getting up at 7:30, like, okay, I'm going hiking today for 2 hours, and so.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, and I think you said something really profound about how it used to be something that was unnecessary, but now that it's a part of your daily routine, it becomes necessary. So that I really that stood out to me. So I like that.
Yeah,
Anyone else on that one?
Patterns, setting habits, good habits, you know. And it now it's like when I went on vacation, I didn't go hiking for an entire week, and so it's just like I'm missing something. Like I need to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mines are all my thousands of plants. Don't need them, love them, take up a lot of time, but you know, that's my little hobby. So, yep. So same like boss, you know, just if I don't do it or if I don't take care of them, I feel like a little empty inside. Or like if I go on vacation, I'm stressed, like, oh my gosh, are they gonna die? Do they, you know, I can't water them. Can my mom go over there and come over and water for me? So, you know, unnecessary, but you know, necessary.
I think for me, it's taking walks with my dog. I haven't always had a dog, and so taking walks every day wasn't part of my daily routine before I got him. But I've had him almost 2 years now, and like days when like Jay said, days when I don't go on a walk with him, like something is missing. And he's even different too, because that's how he's able to like get his energy out and all of that. And so if I don't take him, or if I don't, you know, go out with him and walk him, we both are different. So that's become an unnecessary activity that has become necessary. So
All right, so we have another activity in which you're gonna need your pen, pencil, and paper again. So there are numerous tips that experts have said that can help improve time management if it's done regularly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read a list of time management tips out loud, and each tip will have a number value. If you are currently doing any of those activities that I read out loud, I want you to add that number value, and then at the end, we're gonna tally up the score. Okay, so my first one is start your day early, and that one is worth 300 points. If you have a to-do list or a daily plan, that's 200 points. If you track your habits, that's 100 points. If you use a journal, schedule, or planner, 300 points. If you get at least 8 hours of sleep regularly, that's 200 points. If you have weekly, monthly, or yearly goals, that's 300 points. If you set deadlines or time limits on tasks, 100 points. If you take time to de-stress or follow self-care, that's 300 points. If you say no when you're not available, that's 100 points. And the last one, if you limit electronic use when possible, that's 200 points. And now tally up or add up all of your points. When everyone has their tallies, give me a thumbs up. Ra, where was the last one? I can reread them.
Honestly, I've been looking for a pen. So when you were going, I couldn't even tell you. I was just like, oh, where's a pen? Where's a pen? But I don't have one. So keep going. I'm going to just listen and be like, oh, yeah, I think my numbers is good.
Okay. So, Ms. Fennell, what was your number?
900.
900. Let's see where you are. Okay, so the scores are ranked from very productive, semi-productive, and productivity needs work. Um, if you scored above a 1200, then you're very productive. If your score is, it says 600, so I guess between 600 and 1200, then it's semi-productive. And then from 400 to 600 is productivity need work. So Ms. Fennell, you said 900, so you're semi-productive. What about you, Steph?
I got a 1600 and I feel like I might need to go back and look at that, but I feel like I answered them honestly, so
Well, I mean, according to this test, you're very.
I don't feel that in my day-to-day life, but maybe that's just part of my routine, so it's just who I am as a person. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's awesome. What about you, Soma? What was your score?
Mine was 902, but the things you say, it's not like I do it every day, but it's like, like for goals for a month or a week, you don't have it every time. But you're like, well, I want to do that. Just,
Okay, my score was also 900. So I'm semi-productive. You know, I was actually kind of scared and thought that mine would be somewhere productivity needs work, because personally, I feel like my productivity needs work. So this is just another example now that I've read through these and you hear some of the things that are productive that you could use to spend your time wisely in the future.
Great. And all those tips were tips. Some of them we actually talked about in the PowerPoint, but all these tips are, or all the things done to add up were things that like very productive people do, or people who, are bosses and, boss, but just, it's just the work of productive people who are productive, like maybe not Steve Jobs, RIP, but maybe Mark Zuckerberg does this, or Jeff Bezos, they might have a routine and all that stuff. Their time management, hopefully as well, he's doing a lot. But all right, so our next activity, you're going to need a pen and a piece of paper for still. So we're doing a lot of writing, but we're getting productive. We're going to get on the right track. We're going to get on schedule. So we're going to talk about our circadian rhythm. So where's my definition at? I wrote this down before. So I'm just going to give you an example of what your circadian rhythm is. It's your physical, mental, and behavioral changes that flow on a daily cycle. So an example is like your wake and sleep cycle. If you're tired, you're going to go to sleep. When you had enough sleep, your body's going to wake itself up. So a circadian is recurring naturally on a 24-hour cycle. So it's kind of like our natural internal clocks. So with your piece of paper, I'm going to have you all write down your day from waking up to going to bed in hourly blocks. So I'm going to give an example of this. Let me share my screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to write down, hold on, can y'all see my screen? Yep. So like this schedule, we're going to write down, it could be today's schedule or it can be yesterday's schedule. So you can do it kind of in blocks, but if not, then like from 5 to 8 a.m., you might've been asleep. So that's going to be a little different. But if you can remember what you did, we are going to, let me stop sharing and I'll share that again after I explain it. We're going to write down our schedule in hourly blocks, and then you're going to write your different energy levels. So the different energy levels are on fire, vibrant, cruise control, at 70%, distracted, slowing down, or tired. So I'm going to put that picture back up. All right. So we're going to do our schedule, and kind of this is an example. At 1:30, this person's at 70%. And in the chat box, I'm going to write down the different levels so we have those. So let's spend 5 minutes on that. And if we need more time, let me know. Is everyone good? We got our schedules labeled. All right. Let me exit out of this. Does anyone want to share? Actually, let me share mine. I'll share mine, and then anyone who wants to go after me can go, and then we'll discuss a little more about our schedules. So from 5 a.m., but that schedule started at 5 a.m. I'm asleep by like 11. That's kind of late actually, but I'm asleep by like 11. So from 11 till about 8 a.m., I'm asleep, and then I'm not a morning person. If you did, I mean, I might have said that before, but so from 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and 10 a.m., I'm tired. I'm just sleepy. Don't really, have my coffee, know what's going on. And then at 10 a.m. to about 12 a.m., I'm at 70%. I'm kind of awake, probably ate some breakfast. At 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., I'm kind of on cruise control. And then at 2 p.m., I'm hungry. 3 p.m., I'm more vibrant. That's when our groups are getting ready for group. By 4 p.m., I'm definitely slowing down, especially on work days. I'm ready to just close out the day. 5 p.m., I'm hungry. And then pretty much, in the afternoon, I'm tired. And then 9 to 10 p.m., I'm very tired and I'm, going to sleep. So I didn't use distracted, or I used everything but distracted or on fire. So I would say I'm on fire from after I eat, maybe after 2 o'clock. So that's my little schedule and my different energy levels. Anyone else want to share? You can just unmute yourself.
I'll go. So mine said that at 8 o'clock in the morning, because mine went from basically 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. So 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm tired. I'm tired, but I'm doing it because it's adulting. And then at 9 a.m., I'm on cruise control because I'm still adulting. Like, you're lucky to have me here. I'm doing it, but it's hard. But by about 10 a.m., I've meditated and I've stretched and done yoga. I fit that in somewhere in the midst of cruise control. And so at 10 o'clock, I become very vibrant, very, very alive. And that doesn't stop for me until about 2 o'clock. And then I start to slow down and feel a little distracted. So I put slow down and distracted. And then I realized that usually that's the case because at 3 o'clock, I'm hungry. So I probably slowed down because I was hungry. 4 o'clock, still a little distracted, but still productive. I added that in there. I was like, I don't want to be productive, but I'm doing it. And then at 5 o'clock, I'm on fire again. And 5 to 10 p.m., I'm a night person. I'm an evening person. So that's the best time to communicate with me. And then at 11 o'clock, I'm at 70%. Still, honestly, I consider myself more productive at 11 at night than sometimes at 11 a.m. And then that 70% goes till about midnight. And then at 1 a.m., I'm slowing down. So like I said, I'm a night owl. I'm much more interactive in the later hours. And I usually go to sleep by about 1:30.
I'm the same. I'm very similar to Raw. I would rather sleep in and stay up till like 1 or 2 in the morning. But for my schedule, I said I didn't mind from like 8 to 11 p.m., even though I stay up later than that. But from about 8 until 10, I'm tired. Don't love mornings. And then after that, I'm hungry, so I usually want breakfast. And then I usually go on cruise control after I eat and kind of just, like Ross said, I'm productive and I get through my day. But then by about 2 p.m., I'm at 70%. And by, sorry to say this, by 3, even though we're in group and I'm excited, like I'm slowing down. Like we're almost to 5 o'clock and I'm slowing down. And then by 5 I'm tired, but then I eat dinner and then I'm on fire between about 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. And then 10 p.m. I'm a little bit vibrant, and then 11 I slow down, and then by midnight I'm tired and I fall asleep between midnight and 2 in the morning. So very similar to Raw.
I am the opposite of y'all because I'm an early bird. So my day starts at 7. By 7 o'clock, I'm up. I can't help it. My body just wakes up. So sometimes I'm tired, but I'm okay and getting ready for my day. About 8 o'clock, 7:45 to 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I'm hiking. My energy is up, it's on fire. After a hike is, clean up working time. So I'm still pretty energetic, pretty ready to go. Around that time, I normally eat somewhere between like 11 and 12 or 12 to 1. So around that time, I'm a little more distracted because I'm hungry at this point. But after I get some food, then I'm more productive and I'm ready to go again, a little more energy. Somewhere between 2 and 4, I slow down a little bit, like I'm still there, but I'm slowing down. It's kind of getting towards the end of the workday, and I'm probably hungry for a snack or something at that time. And then, close to 5 or 6 for me is dinner time. So I'm cooking dinner, preparing dinner, and eating before 7 o'clock. So then I have some more energy, which is spent usually around 7, somewhere in between there. It's like movie time, show time with Christina. And then somewhere around 10, 11 o'clock, I'm getting ready for bed. Like y'all are, got all this energy time, and I'm definitely slowing down, and then by 11:30, I'm ready to put my headphones in for meditation and sleeping and calming. So that's my day. That's my schedule.
Soma, did you want to share? You don't have to.
Mine's pretty much like, I think I wake up early, depends on my school or not, but I wake up at like 5 or 6. And then my energy levels are pretty good in the morning. So I slow down in the afternoons. I hate afternoons. So like the most productive times are the evenings and the mornings, and I hate the afternoons. So whatever I'm gonna do, it would either be the morning or the evening. So nothing in the afternoon.
I think we lost boss. Let's see if she'll sign back in. So the reason why this exercise is good for time management is because it's always important to not think about your workload, but your natural energy levels. So like how we were giving examples, me, Raw, and Miss Stephanie, we're not morning people. So we might need to, start our day off a little bit later if we can, if we don't have any meetings or anything, because that's what works better for us. In the afternoons, we're a little bit better. Or like Ms. Soma said, evenings are better, mornings are okay. So it's just important to think about your natural energy levels, especially when it comes to time management. Because if you know that you're not a morning person and you're trying to get your schoolwork done or you have to do something, then, maybe sleep in that extra hour and then, you're more productive in the afternoon. Or, if you know that, you got to go to bed early because you don't, you have something to do, you have meetings, whatever. That's also important. It's also important to recognize when you're on fire, because when you're on fire or when you're vibrant is when you should be doing, the tasks that you need to get done. So like the tasks you need to prioritize first. That's what needs to be done. So I have some follow-up questions and we can answer these, or we can just like give an example because we kind of went over all of our days. But so for each of us, we can do it or we can't. What is the most active part of your day? Mine was kind of like morning-ish, afternoon. So like from 12 a.m. to about 2 p.m. That's only 4 hours, but better than nothing. So that's my on fire. Anybody else want to share their on fire time? I know we already talked about it, but.
Mine was
My on fire time is definitely in the morning, between, in the morning between 8 and like 12.
Mine is at night, and then sometimes depending like mid-morning after I've eaten breakfast.
Yeah, and for the like on fire part, so our work day is only this time to this time. I hope don't be doing that overtime. You need to take a break. So like for Ra and for Stephanie, it's going to be different because at the same time you're more vibrant or you're more like ready to go and you're night owls, but you know, you're not going to be working on emails at 2 a.m. So that's the time when, you know, you get maybe just time for yourself, just time to do other things that you might want to do. All right, so just make sure you're paying attention to your on fire time because that's when you should be doing the most important activities. And what about distracted? I don't think I put distracted, but I would kind of say in the morning because I don't know what's going on. I still got sleep in my eyes. I'm a little bit discombobulated. So I would say I'm most distracted in the morning, but by about 9, 10 a.m., I'm up and ready to go. That might be a little late for some people, but by then, like Miss Stephanie said before, I might have had some breakfast, kind of awake. Anybody got a distracted part of the day? And this doesn't have to be every day. Some days you might be more distracted than others. And then, so we talked about this, during which part of the day is the best time to complete your hardest or most manageable task? So it's better to complete tasks when you're on fire. And then when it's taking a break, I don't even think I put breaks, but I do take breaks. That was an option. Was that an option? Break? No, it wasn't an option, just kidding. But it's also important to schedule break time, just like the tips that we said. It's important to schedule a break time. If you're sitting there for 4 hours just on your computer, just focus, that's not good. Get up, wiggle around, move around, get your blood flowing. So just always remember your natural energy levels. And you know, you got to work with your body. You got to love your body. So just pay attention to your schedule and what works for you. And then hopefully you can, you know, use that in the best way possible to have a productive day and to have productive time management.
Alrighty, so we are going to close this out. If you have any questions, go ahead, you can put those in the chat box and I'll get to those at the very end. But I have a few more things to tell you and then a few more questions. So just want to go over advantages of time management. So some advantages are you have greater clarity of purpose, you do the right things right, and you'll experience more peace of mind. So if you're able to block off time, take time for yourself, you're going to feel more at peace. So my first question for you is, how can you begin to limit distractions?
I would say to start working through what your priorities are and to figure out why you value those priorities, because that usually gives me more motivation to do them because I understand why I care about doing them.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
I was just thinking about the last activity we did and realized that when I wrote down my distracted times, it's usually around the times that I'm hungry. So, and for me, I eat late anyway, so I think I should just be mindful of like making sure to get those meals that are there to energize me so that I can continue to do the work that I have planned out for myself.
Awesome, absolutely. So my next question is, what are 2 time management tips that were mentioned today that you already utilize? So maybe a tip that Ms. Fennell mentioned from the PowerPoint or something that another facilitator mentioned that you already utilize.
I use a planner. I found the digital planner, y'all, changed my life. I used to be into bullet journaling, but that's a lot of writing, everything else. Anyway, so I think for me, using a plan or using some type of to-do list, tracking everything, it helps. And then another one is try to limit distractions. I try to do that the best I can, but at the same time, it's a little bit hard, and breaks. I don't think I take enough like mental breaks. I'm one of those people who, like, when I'm doing something, I want to get it done. So I will sit for 2 hours, not get up, then, you know, get up to go to the bathroom and be like, wow, I just was in a work trance. So I think taking breaks is something that I need to utilize more, but something I learned.
Absolutely. Anything else? Something you already utilize that we mentioned? All right, my last question, name one new time management tip that you learned today from the activities. Anybody learn something new?
I think the circadian rhythm helped. I'm actually going to add that to my planner, so my work planner, so I can realize when I need to get stuff done. But just like natural energy levels is something that I wouldn't think about, but it is helpful, especially time management, so you can know what works best for you and your body, not necessarily what you have to do.
I honestly really like the opening icebreaker activity over like the $86,000 because if we valued our time the way that we think about and value money, I think we'd be a lot more efficient and mindful of it. So that actually is something I'm going to process a little bit more too.
Right. And, when we think about it, time is money. We've heard that saying a lot in our lives, that time is money. And so, yeah.
Absolutely, I agree. I think I think that one for me was very helpful to break things down, and also for me the point system for productivity. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't think about that. Like going through my day, I'm like, oh, I'm lazy, or I didn't do this, or I forgot to get this done. But then when I really thought about it and was honest and truthful, I'm a lot more productive than I thought. So it's good, but also I think I'm going to pay more attention to what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis because that'll help me as well. So that's what I took from this. Are there
Yeah, liked on the last activity, there was the one that said set monthly, yearly, weekly goals. Usually when I think about setting goals, it's, like most people, New Year's, you want to do this, and somewhere it gets lost. But I think when you start setting those shorter goals of, this week I want to accomplish that, or in the next 2 weeks, then it helps to accomplish the bigger goal for the year. So, that's something that I took away from it.
And I think something to even add to that is like daily goals. Like I have to set due dates and timelines on a daily basis. So I think adding that would be beneficial too, because sometimes a week long or like week long period of time or goal can get overwhelming for me. So I'm like, I have to take this one day at a time and set like small goals every day. So
Yeah.
And it
all
adds
right.
up. The small things add up. So that's another thing I feel like with time management is just, you feel like you're not doing it. In Miss Stephanie's case, it's like, oh, am I being productive? And you had the highest score. So like little things matter and it takes time. So small things will lead to big changes.
Absolutely. Do we have any additional questions or anyone want to add any additional comments before we close officially?
Time management is important. It's never too late. Start early when you're young or start, during college, after college, or after school career or whatever. But time management is just very important. And this lesson and writing the lesson just had me realize that, a lot of this stuff seems so simple, and it is, but a lot of people just don't do it. So it makes me want to be more productive. So
I piggyback off of that. We all make it seem so simple, but we also know what it's like to just feel stuck and stagnant and not feel motivated to do stuff. And that's a real feeling and it's a normal feeling, but that just gives you insight to check in with yourself and be like, so what do I care about doing? Because I'm sure there's something left in the day that you wouldn't mind doing. So maybe move to that to get motivation to do something else.
I like that. That goes with like available time. Use your available time wisely. That's, what time management is. And, some days you might not need to worry about that planner, and that's fine. Leave it on the table, nightstand, whatever. Just leave it and focus on yourself and your mental health. So I love that, Ra.
And to add to Kanaj, you said something about you can never be too young to start time management. You can never be too old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can always start it. So there's never a bad time to start managing your time better.
You might have more time when you're older too.
Exactly.
Retirement, I might need to start planning my retirement plans,
Mm-hmm.
Got me thinking. This lesson has me thinking.
All right, Jay, do you have anything else?
Um, tune in with us tomorrow for advocacy workshop at 3:00. That's all I have for us.
Oh,
All right. Thank you, everyone.
thanks.
Thank you all.
Wait,